Hey guys, how's it going? Hopefully things are good for you. Um, I'm feeling pretty good. I've been working on this thing. I've got a lot of hours logged into this project. I figured I'd give you guys an update, uh, and we'll talk about some things. Um, Now this piston is out of the one that I made almost 8 horse. These have been enlarged a little bit, but this is one of my earlier builds, and I was really timid on how far to go. But you can see I went quite a bit more on this one. I've cut the top of the piston on an angle. Um, you can see there's a huge difference between them two pistons there. I cut a lot off, and then see that lip right here on the stock one? It's gone on this one. And then I blended it and got rid of some hash marking, and this piston's 6 grams lighter than what this one was before I uh, modified it. My biggest fear, there's a few things that can happen when doing this. This gland could break off and blow the saw up. This wrist pin section could break out and blow the saw up. But there's still, if you look, there's still 3 ribs that are attached down here and back here. I think I'm gonna be all right. But if not, it's for the sake of science. If it blows up, it blows up. I'm trying my hardest to get some good power out of this thing. I do read every comment. I try to answer every comment. Sometimes I get behind or whatever. Someone was asking me in the comments, and instead of responding, I just figured I'd respond to it in here. I've done this saw here was the first one I did where some people epoxy these. Well, I welded these in with that low temperature aluminum stuff, and then popped the caps and did all that machine work and went in there and moved stuff around. And I mean, it made good power. It was almost 8 horse. It was a very strong saw. There's video of it knocking the crap out of a stock 500 if you go back through my footage far enough. But then I bought me another one of these and did all the modifications of what I could reach down through the transfers. And when I had both them saws dynoed, that other one made almost a half horse more than this one. And it felt better in the cuts and stuff, and anybody that played with it liked it better. So, and then he wanted to know what would cause that. I feel it was probably loss of velocity. I can show you that one on the caps here. If you look, it's got, great big huge transfers, and they're cut straight in, and I believe that killed my velocity. It still made good power. I think I went a little bit wider on this exhaust port than I did on that one. I left room to play with on this new one. But this I think I probably cut 50 or 60 thousandths off this base originally. It's been so long I can't remember. But this one, I had to do real bad things to. I cut 100 thousandths off the base. These tabs were 340 thousandths thick. They are now 240. I had to cut the bottom of this sleeve that sticks out too because it was bottoming out in the case. And then I also had to cut this down because this was hitting on the case, and this is so close to the flywheel. I might go over to the Dremel and actually clearance me some on here because I don't think I can slide a piece of paper between there. And I want a little bit, I'll be fine with 30 thousandths or something, but either I'll shave that. I've been thinking about maybe lightening the flywheel up. But here's the intake I chose to do on this one. It's like a lung style design. I've done little tiny Mickey Mouse ears and some different shapes on a few other ones. You know, I'm always trying to perfect my craft on these things and get a little more out of them. Like this one, I did not do that with, and I mean it still made good power. There's so many different ways to go about doing things, but made the transfers huge. I do try to direct, because this used to be that little tiny one. I made it bigger, and I do try to direct it because this is feeding two uppers. So I tried to get more to go up that one. Then I feel this one, after cleaning it up and stuff, is plenty big enough to feed that primary there. But I did raise these, but see how these are, I did these on an angle versus, you know, coming straight in on this one. I feel the ones I do that to run better for me. That's just me. I mean, other people might have different ideas, and what I'm talking about is this right in here. And then I did elongate these. I cut into the cylinder roll and elongated these. But so I want the flow to come in, hit this on an angle, and like when I'm running water underneath it, these things are hitting, you know, up into here. I want to fill this whole back wall and upper combustion chamber first with fuel, because as that's filling, it is allowing me to push the charge across and out. And when that exhaust comes out, I would prefer 100% of that charge to come out and waste, you know, some good fuel in there. So whatever sucks back in, I'm getting a charge back in instead of diluted, polluted, already spent gases. So that's my, you know, thoughts on that. I did cut this combustion chamber and tapered it a little different than the factory one. Here's the exhaust. Trying to show you everything I can think of. And then this taper matches this, and I don't know how it's going to run yet. I will give you the numbers. The intake got pushed pretty far on this. I couldn't control that just because I had to cut so much off the base, so it automatically lowered my intake. That's why I actually cut these two lungs in here. I wanted to actually slow my charge down some so it doesn't fill my crankcase so quick. I'm hoping to eliminate some spit back out of the carb, because this is at 172.5 total degrees of intake timing, which that is a lot, guys. That is a whole lot. I typically don't try to exceed more than 160. So if that gives you any idea. And on this roof, two ways of reading it. When I'm checking it with a ray light, I get just a little tiny fuzz here at 98 degrees, but when just a smidgen more at 100 degrees, this whole width of my port, I'm going to call it 100 degrees on it. It's either 98 or 100. I would lean more towards my flow is going to start where I'm, you know, where it comes cracks and I'm getting full width of the port. So I'd say this one's at 100 degrees, and this transfers at 123, and these ones that are 125. So this saw has 100 on the roof, and it's got 23 and 25 degrees blowdown, and it's at like 86 point, almost 86 and a half on that timing for the intake there. I do not have a clue how this is going to turn out. The port work is done. I'm pretty pleased with how it turns out, but I did leave room where if I want to go back in and revisit this, that I can scooch this out just a little bit wider, and I can scooch the intake out a little bit wider if I want, but because I raised it, I didn't want to go much wider. I mean, it's probably 35 thousandths wider than it originally was, but I'm just trying to give you guys some things on what I'm doing with this creation. I do not know how it's going to turn out for me. It's a total science experiment. I won't be doing any builds like this. I got hours into goofing off with trying to get tapers set right and cut right and adjusted right, and then I was really sweating bullets because I was gonna push it to 20,000 squish, but I stopped at 27. I didn't, with cutting so much off that jug, I didn't know how much farther I could go before it wasn't gonna work for me. So I mean, 27,000 squish is far better than the 70,000 it had from the factory. So and then plus I have more piston sitting up inside the combustion chamber. So I think I'll work on putting this together, and then I got to build a deflector. I'm thinking about either coming off the side here with another deflector, or I wished I had another one of these deflectors so I could put it right here. I might try to make one. I wouldn't mind having two of them right there with screens in it, because this will probably get used in my work fleet, but I'm hoping for a pretty warm build. But I guess that's it on that. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, and subscribe. Like I said, I do appreciate every one of my subscribers. You guys are awesome. I enjoy the comments. Let me know what I can do better. I am trying to get you guys better footage, so you guys enjoy your night and have a good one.